knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
Very good Monday afternoon to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout Live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, brought to you by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening on our audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, watching on YouTube or listening on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. We greatly appreciate you spending your afternoon with us here. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernan Salas alongside Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here as we've got a fun 2 hours ready for you on this very fine program. We have a World Cup that was handed out yesterday to Spain to get to. We have a CFL weekend to get to. The Edmonton Elks improved to 5-1. We got an F1 race that happened this weekend. By the way, the Screw It, Let's Do It this week.
Hey!
That hit. Coop said, let's go the distance in the UFC fight. They said, sure, Coop, why not? Gager's like, Kimmy, how about you win the Belgian Grand Prix? Kim's like, for you, Gager? Of course. I said, Spain's going to lift the trophy. Spain's like, we got you. Here we go. Lift it up. Boom. Screw it. Let's do it. That hits. We'll get to that later in the show here. Lots to get to. We have a couple guests on the show as well. Lucas Weiss from The Athletic will stop by in about 20 minutes' time as we'll look back on the World Cup final from yesterday, as well as look back at this World Cup. Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press, he's going to stop by around 2:05 as we'll talk to him about the weekend in the Canadian Football League. And Mex Bezozu, already in the nasty chat, he said, I'd love for this duo to talk Succession for a segment or two. We will talk a little bit of, I think, pop culture later in the show. I'm going to map that out because Coop saw the Odyssey this weekend. You saw the Odyssey this weekend. I saw the Odyssey this weekend. We got to spend a little bit of time talking about the Odyssey. So we'll do that. And then I'm just a big fan of Succession. And I know you're watching and you're telling Hernan about it. So we can get into that as well. So that's all to come. We want to hear from you as well. That's 780-218-9999. It's the River Cree inbox. Tab 25 restaurant, $18.99 prime rib special available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. till 11 p.m. Available for dine and take-out, not available on show nights. That's the inbox. As I said, 780-218-9999. Or you can jump into the nasty chat as Mex Bezozu has already done. Gager, how was your weekend?
It was good. Yeah.
Overall good?
Yeah. No, Saturday was just, Friday was warm. Saturday morning was just cooking too, right?
Went for a nice walk. It was very nice.
Oh,
Loved
so
it.
Nice and warm.
36 with the Humidex at one point on Saturday.
So hot. And then, went to watch the Odyssey Saturday. Got some work done. Kind of Sunday was kind of nasty out, so it was kind of perfect. But yeah, just a nice little weekend.
Yeah, we've got some smoke that has rolled into town, it looks like. We've got a yellow warning for air quality. It's supposed to remain in the region through Tuesday, Environment Canada is saying. Right now, 18 degrees. Tomorrow, 25. But then the rest of this week, 30, 32, 32, 27, 24. The Nasty Bash, 27 degrees on Saturday, which means the patio at the St. Albert Rugby Club will be full because they have an amazing patio. With the way the sun sets and everything, it's an excellent spot. Nasty Bash, come join us. 6 o'clock, St. Albert Rugby Club on Saturday. It's our third major of the year. Koob, how was your weekend?
It was busy, Matt.
Yeah.
Very, very busy. I took the Sunday VIP golf show off. Ben Thompson, who had a busy week himself and was in the morning as well, covered for me there, which I just want to shout out Benny for that one. Quite the solid because Friday night watched the Elks game, enjoyed that. Saturday went to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival for the afternoon show, and then went on to watch UFC, saw that Usman Dricus Duplessis go to the distance, and wrap things up by watching the Odyssey, and went back to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival once more on the Sunday before watching 2 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies on a busy weekend.
I forgot to talk to Hernan about that.
What?
There's ways to get sports Spider-Man movies without paying the $4.99.
Oh.
I'm just...
No, this was Batman.
Or there's ways.
Oh,
I want to let him know that if he brings me a USB,
Yeah.
there's magic in the air, which we can get to. I actually saw something while I was prepping the show today between Lock Shop. There was a comedian that was supposed to be at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival yesterday that didn't make it.
Really?
Yesterday.
Yes. For the light show. He's supposed to have a 10 p.m. set. He was at the football match in New York, New Jersey.
Bad luck.
Said he left. Because I have a show in Edmonton. And then later posted an apology because he missed his set, which, the match was a 1 o'clock kickoff here. His set was, I think, supposed to be 10. I guess Ronnie Chang made fun of him because Ronnie Chang was on before him, based on what I was reading on Reddit. 10 o'clock was his show here. That match is at 1. It was going to go till at least 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock. We knew that. By the time you get to... Now, I don't think the airport is far from MetLife. Even if you're taking a private jet, you're talking about a 4-hour flight. So if your wheels up at 4:30 Edmonton time, that's 8:30 to land, get into a car, get down to Kingsman for 10. He put that very tight.
He did put that.
It's not a great look, but...
Who was it?
Who was this guy?
I'm trying to figure it out. I know, Matt Rife on the Saturday, it was canceled.
Yeah, because the storm came in and they absolutely made the right decision on that one.
Which I'm not a big Matt
let me
Rife
see if I
fan.
can find it here quickly.
There was a Cam Patterson guy on Saturday. I know that wasn't there.
It just
that was
Jimmy
Sunday.
Ouyang.
Jimmy Ouyang?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was supposed to do it. He had that's an Insta, says, I left, I'm on my way, Edmonton, coming seeing you. And then there was a video afterwards where he went, sorry, Edmonton, didn't make it. So that's pretty funny. Did you have time to watch the match yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I think because I had been watching the World Cup up to this point that I didn't not like it.
It wasn't a great final. Just outright it wasn't.
But I was like, come on. I was waiting for Argentina to do something. And then in the back of my mind, I'm going, okay, these jerks are going to find a way to score late and win this thing. And then I thought, I can't believe it. They're playing to get to penalties, and they're going to beat Spain after they've dominated this whole. I really thought it was going to go to penalties. So essentially, I ended up watching this game thinking, well, I'm just going to watch this game to get to penalties, which is something that I hate. So you can't tell me I didn't get fully ensconced in the World Cup because I was actually waiting to watch something that physically, when I see it, makes me ill.
Well, I will say it's funny to say do something. It's like that meme, that stick. Hey, do something. Argentina, do something.
Yeah.
It was an incredible match with I don't know if we'll ever see such a dominating World Cup final ever again. I don't think we've ever would have seen one because you're supposed to get to the two best nations in the entire tournament, and Argentina looked more like a Capo Verde than Argentina.
Yeah,
like when I can't show it on the screen, but like the momentum chart, like here's the momentum chart of it, and it's all Spain until they score, and then naturally Argentina's pushing to try to get that equalizer, But what worried me, when I didn't like the way Argentina played it, they played for penalties, and it was early. It seemed like they were playing for penalties.
Yeah.
I think 4 of their substitutions out of the 5 were more defensive substitutions. And then even when we got to extra time, they didn't bring on more of an offensive guy. It was like, hey, we're going to get this to penalties. And I got it at a certain point when they get the red card. But the 5 of their subs all came before the red card. 1 was due to injury. You would have thought they would have pushed more. You would have thought they would have tried to challenge more. There was a situation there where if Spain didn't score, Argentina could have been world champions without getting a shot on target or a shot at all in the match. That their first shot would have come into penalties because their first shot came after the goal was scored in like the 107th, 108th minute or something like that.
They almost tied it up a couple times.
They almost tied it up. So there was a point to me where Spain wasn't getting, because the final stats were they had 12 shots on goal. They had more shots obviously taken, but they had 12 actually on target. There was a part that I was worried that we were going to walk away with the most unworthy champion from a World Cup final. Not that Argentina wasn't worthy of getting to that final. We can make the case about whether refs helped them or not. They did show enough in this tournament though that they're a decent, they're a good side. They are defending champions. But if we walked away with, like, even if they equalized it 1-1 and they go win in penalties, they weren't deserving of it with the way they played this. It was just so defensive. It was playing from like the 60th minute. We're going to play for penalties, it seemed like. And it wasn't great. And Spain, it's wild. They're missing a striker. If they had a true striker, they would be completely unstoppable. They just couldn't get that one goal until
Martinez.
they had the
played
one
well,
pulled
though.
back.
Like,
he was unbelievable.
And so part of me was like, wow, winning a football match on the back of your goaltender is kind of odd to me. But he was making some unbelievable saves.
He had 11 saves.
Yeah, that's
11 saves.
crazy. And what? Like, I'd say 8 of those were
some really good
some really-
chances.
yeah.
Some great. Well, at the end of full time,
right
the
at
full
the end,
90,
yeah.
Yamal with that free kick. Incredible save.
Yeah, unreal save. And just got his fingers on it too, right? Like
It was not a World Cup final I was expecting, but I was pleased with the result, the outcome. And that wraps up this World Cup, which is a very unique World Cup. I don't know what the legacy of this World Cup is. And that's one of the questions I will be asking Lucas, because from a sporting perspective, with the play we saw, it was a great tournament, I feel like. From a fan's perspective of seeing the joys and the fans come into our 3 countries, and that was unbelievable. But then the other side, you've got ticket pricing was expensive, parking was expensive, transportation was expensive, hotels were expensive. You have the hydration breaks that people were upset about. You have a halftime show we've never seen, and a lot of people hope we never see again at a World Cup final.
there was a ref that wasn't allowed into the U.S.
There was a ref that wasn't allowed into the U.S.
There was the Iranian team had all sorts of issues.
Were forced out of the country immediately after a match. The red card that we saw with Balogun, like
Trump trying to get into the photo at the end.
just couldn't. Well, he did it last year. That's what people like. FIFA should have known this last year with Club World Cup. He was right in the middle of it. And Gianna Infantino tried his best to shoo him away, but he looked like an old man that just got lost and didn't know where to go.
Some of the Spanish papers,
Donald
though,
Trump
they did Photoshop him out of it.
Oh yeah, it's like
talk about something that get out of the way.
It's not your country. If it was the Americans, I could understand it more.
I know
but it's not your country. You have nothing to, and you're actually fighting with Spain right now.
We don't want to get political, but
No.
I mean, he was bad-mouthing the country of Spain a day prior, basically.
There's huge issues between those two countries right now politically.
And you're going to go pose with the most popular people in that country.
Yeah, it's while getting booed in that stadium. But like, and that's
funny.
where I'm intrigued with, like, the president of CONMEBOL, which is the South American Confederation for football. They came out today saying it's the next World Cup will be 64 teams. He's already spilling the beans that we're going to 64 for the next World Cup. Which I think right off the bat, I don't think anyone could sit there and say, well, that's awful. Like, that's going to water down the product, because that's what we said for this one.
And you can't say it did. It was
No, it was
enjoyable,
great.
man.
It was great. We saw some great matches. And in the end, do you know the one team that Spain couldn't beat? There's only one team in this tournament they faced that they couldn't beat.
Yeah.
Capo Verde.
Capo Verde, yeah.
They're the only team that could say, Argentina, Portugal, all you guys, you lost to them.
Yeah.
We didn't. They couldn't even score on us. They could actually say that. We didn't even score on us. So it's
I did think I saw that it's in Portugal, the next one, right? And Spain?
So the next one is, so it's going to start in Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, because it's the 100th anniversary of the World Cup. Then it's going to shift, and the majority of it, this is a Morocco, Portugal, Spanish World Cup.
Okay, because in Morocco, I think they're starting to build the biggest football stadium ever built.
110,000.
I thought it was 115.
Maybe. And they don't know who's going to host the final, but it's leaning right now that they'll host the final.
It? Well, why not if it's...
Don't get me started on that World Cup.
Okay.
The corruption behind it.
I'll give you 2 more.
The corruption and how that was awarded. It's all about Saudi Arabia hosting in 2034. Caster saying, are the host countries now obligated to play their national anthem in the final, even if they're not in it? Never happened before. The Americans had, was it their anthem or was it just God Bless America? Either way, they had that played. That's never happened.
What do you think of Tom Cruise?
I didn't need it. You?
I just find, don't get me. I love Tom Cruise movies. I won't deny that. I think they're great.
New movie coming.
Yeah, but that's the only reason you saw Tom Cruise. He is the master of self-promotion, and he's everywhere with his new movie. Like he's kicking a soccer ball as his new character in Digger or whatever it is.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Digger. No, I'll be intrigued if we see the national anthem sang for the host nation. Probably not won't. But this was a wonderful World Cup. But I will say I think the next World Cup will do just as well because I know for me I want to go to Spain, Portugal, Morocco. That'll be a great World Cup. But Spain, second star. They are the World Cup winners last time, and the first time doing it was 2010. What they did is when they won the Euros in 2008, they won the World Cup in 2010, they won the Euros in 2012. Well, they won the Euros in 2024, they won the World Cup in 2026, and according to Player Alberta, they're already the favorite to win the Euros in 2 years. We'll continue talking World Cup and wrapping up this World Cup. Lucas Weiss from The Athletic will join us in about 7 minutes' time. We will get into the Edmonton Elks, and I do want your thoughts on Formula One. So lots to get to here on EST Afternoons. We're live in the William Huff studio. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Visit their website, williamhuff.com, or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Speaking of William Huff, Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne will be doing the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne live from William Huff Suite at Remax Field for the Riverhawks game tonight. Well, the Riverhawks game's not till 7, but Reed and Jay are going to be inside of Bruce's suite, and then I think they're sticking around for the game. But we also have some Riverhawks tickets to give away. It's their final 6 home games of the season, so we have vouchers. You could pick yours. Stay tuned to that as well. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We'll get to a Zachary Kubish sports update, and on the other side, we'll wrap up this World Cup with Lucas Weiss from The Athletic. Thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Here's Kub with the sports update.
Hockey Canada has unveiled their coaching staff for the 2027 World Juniors here in Edmonton. Misha Donskov will serve as head coach, with Ryan Getzlaff making his international coaching debut as an assistant. Drew Bannister, Brad Lauer, and Jim Holton will serve as the 4 assistant coaches. The tournament takes place in late December and wraps up in January of 2027. Out east, the Canadians, they've officially added former Maple Leafs assistant coach Derek Lalonde to their coaching staff. The 55-year-old served as Detroit's head coach from the 2022 to 2024 season. In other news, the RCMP has reported that Rough Riders linebacker Jaden Dahlke was driving on the wrong side of the road before being involved in a fatal crash that took the life of another driver. Autopsies and toxicology tests will be completed, with police finding cannabis and alcohol in Dahlke's vehicle. From the 6th, the Blue Jays Rays take the field, kick-starting a 4-game series. Toronto's Dylan Cease starts, challenging Nick Martinez on the mound. That one gets going just after 5, and things pick up in the MLB. Cleveland Guardians facing the Twins. We also see the Yankees in action against the Pirates. And just a half dozen home games left for the Riverhawks tonight. They open a 3-game set against the Northpaws. Check out the game on any of EST's audio streams. First pitch just after 7 o'clock. More with Matthew Iwanyk and Joaquin Gage here on EST Afternoons. Following the break, I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Justin Rankin, man, I mean, just unbelievable. He has to be in the MOP conversation.
I would argue that right now he's the front runner just based on what he's doing, from being on pace for 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. Now he has to keep it up, and he's going to have an otherworldly season.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
What's better than sleeping under the stars?
Sleeping inside our house?
Need extra space at home? Get it back with Sentinel Storage. Canada's choice for storage solutions with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
River Cree Resort and Casino and CFCW present All Shook Up, an afternoon tribute with the King, featuring 3 of the world's best Elvis tribute artists. August 16th in the venue. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and zero reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
We're back on EST Afternoons right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We will get into Elks and CFL discussion in about 20 minutes' time. We'll get to our next guest right away here. We're going to lose our World Cup trophy right away. Larry has already emailed me. Sad it's now over, but I'm just looking at stopping by Wednesday to grab the trophy. Larry, that will be no problem for you to come grab that trophy. I will get him the address for that one. But that means it's all over, and I'm very sad that this was done. But for me personally, I'm very excited that we will get to club soccer. But for everyone else, it's now like what are you going to be spending your nights watching or your days watching and stuff? Like will you dive into baseball? Or is this now like a great time to catch up on whatever you've missed?
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of the thing. We're in the, I thought about this and it's like, oh, what I got to watch. I might just shut it down, Maddie. I'll watch the Elks. I'll watch some Jays.
Just you get on the weekends and stuff, but
I still got F1.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I might.
Weekdays, it's just do other things.
Why not? I've made a conscious effort to try to be outside more.
Oh, I like that.
And I've done a lot of stuff in my backyard. There's still a ton of work to do, but maybe just enjoy we don't get a lot of summer here.
No, we don't.
So what do we got?
Another late one this year.
We got another 6 weeks, kind of till everything. I always equate the start of school as the start of fall and stuff. But
I don't want to be the downer, but we got like 3 weeks of the later suns. Like in August, it starts getting noticeable. Right?
The light changes. The end of August, you can see the dimming of the sunsets. So no, I think I'm gonna try to just get outside more.
I like that. Let's get to our next guest, who will be on the Oil Country Towing Hotline, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Fast, safe, reliable for over 15 years, whether it's game day or snowstorm. Work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Give them a call, 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. Lucas Wiest from The Athletic joins us to recap and wrap up the World Cup of 2026 as Spain defeat Argentina yesterday. And Lucas, thanks for taking some time to join us. You're on with Matt and Joaquin. And let's just look at the champions of this Spain. This was just a dominating performance really from the entire World Cup. They only give up 1 goal. It just seems like they were without question natural and worthy champions, are they not?
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, the best team won yesterday in Spain, and it's interesting because they didn't start off the best in this tournament. I mean, let's flash back to June, almost a month ago, Spain drawing Cabo Verde, a country with a population of 525,000. So there was a lot of concern, right? I mean, is this Spain team going to be one of the contenders for the World Cup? But after that match, it just felt like every match they played, they were on the front foot. Nobody threatened them. And like you said, they only conceded 1 goal this entire tournament. They played as a team. Luis de la Fuente, the Spanish manager, really found a way to get all the players involved. They all had a particular role. They passed with purity, and they were tactical and surgical with how they play. And you just saw that yesterday against Argentina, where Ferran Torres, the game-winning goal scorer, gets subbed on. And it just goes to show you how this team plays. They have so much depth, and they're able to find a way to really neutralize and stymie Argentina. So the best team won. And look, guys, Spain now, they're the reigning European champions, and now they're the World Cup champions. There's no question they're the number one country right now in men's international football.
Lucas, you watch this Argentinian team do some dramatic scoring late, and then their games are exciting. They seem to push the pace. By my eye, watching that game yesterday, I found that it was odd that their game plan seemed to try to get it to late in the match or get to penalties without a lot of push offensively. Is it somewhat puzzling that they changed their strategy for the final game when it just seemed like they weren't playing the same way as you saw in the previous games?
I completely agree. It was disappointing, frankly, how they played, because in the knockout stage, Argentina scored goals. They were able to push the ball up the field. We saw when they were down, they had tremendous grit and intensity, most notably in that semifinal against England. So it was a bit puzzling. Now, look, Spain are a stifling opponent, right? We saw them in the semifinal against France, blank them. They blank Argentina yesterday, but it just goes to show you guys, I just think Argentina was really a couple of forwards in Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez. But if you were able to neutralize those guys, the entire Argentinian attack was neutralized. And you saw that yesterday. Messi was a passenger in yesterday's game. He was a non-factor in the World Cup final, and that's music to Spain's ears, and it just shows you that they had a really solid game plan, and Argentina just had no answer other than try to be physical, try to roughen up the opponent, and unfortunately you saw that boil over after the match, which frankly was very classless and unnecessary. And it's just disappointing because I think Argentina had this memorable run and they never gave up. But once they got up against a very talented and qualified team in Spain, they just couldn't play, and they couldn't play against them.
With this Spanish team, like the last time they won a world championship, it was sandwiched between two Euros. You've already mentioned they're the reigning Euro champions. Now they won a world championship, so they're going to look to duplicate that. But then in 2030, they're also part hosts of the next World Cup, where they'll look to repeat as World Cup champs as well. There's a lot of youth on this team. You've mentioned they're clearly the number one team in the world right now on the men's side. If we're just looking ahead to 2 or 4 years from now, what would be the biggest weaknesses, if there are any really, of Spain, where you go, that's the spot where if they aren't going to repeat as European or world champions, that's the spot that will be the issue? Is it they're not having the ultimate top end striker? What would you look at when it comes to Spain?
You just hit the nail on the head there. The top end striker, right? I mean, Argentina had that with Lionel Messi. France had that with Kylian Mbappe. Of course, Lamine Yamal is this young teenage, rising star. I mean, at 19, he already has a World Cup and a European Championship. But he didn't have his best tournament. Now, he was coming in with some injury concerns. I thought he had a good performance, not a great performance in the World Cup final. Hopefully, for Spanish supporters, Yamal becomes this star where, he can make a difference with one strike of the ball, similar to what Erling Haaland did for Norway. But that's what Spain's lacking right now. I mean, they play so well as a team. Like, if they had a striker of a Haaland or an Mbappe, they would be unstoppable. I mean, just the way that they play and just how defensive they are. So that'll be interesting to see how Yamal continues to develop. Or is there someone else in the system that can really fill that central striking role? But right now, I would say that would be the glaring weakness, especially against some of these top-end teams.
Lucas, at the beginning of the World Cup or the months leading up to it, we heard that, there was the ticket pricing and travel. And I was a little bit worried of how this was going to go. But once we got into it, it just seemed like it got knocked out of the park, being in Mexico, the U.S., and the games here in Canada. What's your overall grade of this World Cup, and even with a few controversies thrown in?
Yeah, no tournament is perfect. Like you said, there were some controversies, most notably Balogun's red card being rescinded, I think was the lowest point of the tournament. But from a fan experience and cultural perspective, this World Cup hit it out of the park. Look, when you look at cities from Toronto to Vancouver, Mexico City at the Estadio Azteca, and all the American cities, it was just so refreshing to see people coming together from various different countries, whether it was the Viking Row from the Norway fans or the Canadian fans walking through the streets, singing "O Canada," letting out their red and white flares. It was just such a celebratory feel, and I really do think that the World Cup is maybe the only sporting event globally that moves the needle and brings people together. Obviously, the Olympics are still a big event, but I just don't think it has that same reach as the World Cup does in terms of the watch parties and the fan marches and just the way, it just, conjures up these emotions of community and passion and energy. So from that perspective, I was lucky enough to walk with a lot of fan marches in the 6 matches in Toronto. And it was just such a beautiful scene to see these different diasporas coming together to show love for their country.
Lucas Weiss of The Athletic joining us here. Just as we look ahead and wrap this up, one of the big things when it comes to football and World Cups or these big international tournaments is that we're not far away from club season here, and there's always those players that maybe rise and their stock significantly increases that people start following. And like Erling Haaland is just a great player out in the Premier League, but for casuals, maybe they now know who he is. But from as people maybe transition to watching their clubs or following new leagues, which players do you think that you saw their stock rise a little bit in this tournament?
You got to think Jude Bellingham, right? Like I thought before the semifinal, he may have been one of the best players in the tournament. He had braces in consecutive matches, and I just think his stock will no doubt rise with Real Madrid. And I just think he just, it was such a game-changing player. I think Rodri yesterday for Spain is someone that, coming in, there were some questions, but, the way that he played, he's a deserving golden ball player. And then, you look at some of the Canadian players, right? Like I think, of Luke DeFugerol, right? He's a young defensive player. Alistair Johnston, someone that, to me, he was Canada's best player in this tournament. So definitely a lot of players that I think are going to get some promotions, guys. Like I think you're going to see them play for some big clubs, and I think if you bring it to the Canadian perspective, that's massive experience, especially when they may play in a Gold Cup or a Copa America 2 years from now, and then the World Cup 4 years should Canada qualify. So lots of big players having important World Cups because there's so many eyes on this tournament, and hopefully they earn some well-deserved promotions to bigger clubs.
Before I let you go, Lucas, myself, Joaquin here, and our producer, Zach, we all saw the Odyssey this weekend, and we saw you tweet about the Odyssey. Do you have some quick thoughts on your thoughts of what Christopher Nolan created with the Odyssey?
I think it's the movie of the year. I think you have to see it in the biggest screen possible if you can. I don't think it's his best, but I do think it's his most complete film. I think he's at the peak of his powers right now in terms of creating these event movies that bring people to the theaters. And there's no one better with grander ambition, bigger scale, and visual storytelling than him right now. And I'll leave it with this, guys. I think it's fascinating that Oppenheimer and the Odyssey have been back-to-back, and I think they have a lot of through lines. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it because I think it's definitely one of the movies of the year.
Lucas, appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you can catch up at another day.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
Lucas Weiss from The Athletic, stopping by as we recap and wrap a nice bow around the 2026 World Cup. I saw somebody say that it's a trilogy, but in reverse. That if you go based on based on the timeline, but also some of the messaging, it goes Odyssey, Oppenheimer, Tenet. There's things there.
Oh, really?
Themes. I'd have to go see if I could find it, but it's a reverse trilogy.
There's a woman that explains Christopher Nolan movies with the symbolism and everything. And she goes through Tenet, she goes through Inception. I'd like to hear what Lucas is, if that's not his best, which one is his best in his
Interstellar?
I guess I should have asked him that.
No, it's okay, Maddie.
Would you like
You'll get it.
Him?
You'll get it one day.
Would you like me to email him? I'll do it right now.
Should I call him back?
No, I'll just shoot him a quick email.
On the show.
Let me see.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's a Christopher Nolan movie I don't like. But this one, I think is just amazing. Partially because, you know why I'm watching this movie, Maddie, and I'm asked, we'll get to it. I got a story. I don't know if I should save it for Majo tomorrow to talk about it.
Feel free to save it.
Yeah.
Build some anticipation.
But I was wondering why I loved this movie. This is a different topic here, but why I liked it so much. When I was younger, I played Dungeons and Dragons a lot. And I had a book, it's called Deities and Demigods. And it had the history of all the different mythology. And I loved the Greek mythology. I can always try to fight Zeus or Hercules with my characters and stuff.
I've emailed him. We'll see if he gets back.
Okay.
Letting me know which one it is. Max Bezzosu did say Dunkirk is better than Interstellar for me. Dunkirk online, through a lot of different avenues that you want to look at, is actually not that highly well regarded. A lot of people don't like Dunkirk. I thought Dunkirk was fantastic.
I haven't watched Dunkirk.
I thought it was great.
I haven't heard anyone say anything bad. I've always meant to watch it.
But it's always been poor, I guess. Like when you look online and people, like, it's usually one of his lowest ranked films. And a lot of people toss it away very quickly, which always surprises me when it comes to that film. But yeah, we'll see if when he gets back to me on what that Christopher Nolan film he thinks is number one. Oppenheimer.
Okay. I loved Oppenheimer too.
I thought it was way too long.
Oppenheimer, yeah, he said the Oppenheimer's is my number one.
Too long stuff.
The Odyssey is in my top 3, a phenomenal achievement in filmmaking. So yeah, he has Oppenheimer as number 1.
Don't complain about long movies.
I haven't seen that one.
Why wouldn't you want to go to see a movie you'll watch 3 episodes of Succession.
Oh, is he complaining about being long?
Yeah.
Well, for Oppenheimer, it just felt like it took too long in the, what was it, the second half of the movie.
I haven't seen it, so I'd have to.
I don't know. There's parts that could have been trimmed. Like there's a bit of fat that could have trimmed 20 to 30 minutes of that movie.
I'm going to say what I have to say about the Odyssey.
Anyone, you can't say it's too long unless you go to film school.
I also
go to film school and said
this is why miniseries is becoming a thing, is that they could do things over 9 episodes.
Exactly.
Which is 9 hours of your life. But it gets broken up into hour-longs, and why those have become so huge.
Well, I went with my wife, right? And she said they could have tightened it up. And I knew she was getting antsy by the end of it. But I was like, I could do another hour. I don't care. But then we went home the next day and watched 4 episodes of Succession. She did that like nothing.
I love Succession. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We will continue in the inbox. We got some Elks to talk about. Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press is going to stop by at 2 o'clock. Maybe we'll have to move the Odyssey discussion up a segment. We're going to do that next, I think, here. Your thoughts always welcome. River Korea inbox 780-218-9999. We're going to get to a Coop Sports update, and then on the other side, we'll jump into the nasty chat. We'll jump into River Korea inbox, and as I said, Dan Ralph coming up at 2:05. Right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, brought to you by Play Alberta.
Hockey Canada has unveiled its coaching staff for the 2027 World Juniors here in Edmonton. Misha Donskov serving as the head coach. Ryan Getzlav making his international coaching debut alongside Drew Bannister, Brad Lauer, and Jim Holton. serving as the 4 assistant coaches. Out east, the Canadians have officially added former Maple Leafs assistant coach Derek Lalonde to their coaching staff. The 55-year-old served as Detroit's head coach from the 2022-24 seasons. In other news, the RCMP has reported that Rough Riders defensive back Jaden Dahlke drove on the wrong side of the road before his fatal crash that took the life of another driver. Further testing will be done after police found cannabis and alcohol in Dahlke's vehicle. Elsewhere, the Blue Jays and Rays kickstart a 4-game series from Toronto. Dylan Cease will challenge Nick Martinez on the mound. That one gets going just after 5 o'clock, and just a half dozen games left for the Riverhawks tonight. They are at home for the Riverhawks. They open a 3-game set against the Northpaws. Catch the game on any of EST's audio streams. First pitch at 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Hit the turf and enjoy some incredible cuisine and live entertainment during the feast on the field August 19th at Commonwealth Stadium. Proceeds go towards helping seniors and residents in Capital Care communities. Get your tickets now at Capital Care Foundation.net. Some movie discussion up next here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
5 games on the Tuesday.
Okay.
Oilers.
I love that back-to-back. I love that.
Ready for this?
I think it'll be good.
You're not ready.
I know.
The schedule coming out, I always love looking at schedules, but I'm thinking like September 29th, and like that's just like
too soon.
That's a little over 2 months away, and we're back at the rink.
Usually be preseason.
We haven't had good summer yet.
I know.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. Hi, it's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom. And from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Back on EST Afternoons, Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish. Reminder coming up at 3 o'clock. It's the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. They're live at Remax Field.
Cool.
The Riverhawks game. They're in Bruce Simpson's William Huff's studio. Who's on the show today, Coop, with them? Do you know?
We do have a double E alum. I know the boys are going to get a member of the Riverhawks as well. That has yet to be confirmed here, but they got a busy show on tap. The boys connecting once again. Yeah, 4 o'clock TBD, brah, on the Riverhawks guest. And later in the show, 5 o'clock, Dan Bass, EE alum, double E alum.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Portions of this hour of EST Afternoons brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. The Canadian Brew House now is happy hour Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6. Prices starting at $3.99. Come early, stay longer, save more. The Canadian Brew House, our house, is your house. Coming up just after 2 o'clock, Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press. Also in the second hour of the show, we've got a bunch of Riverhawks tickets to give away, so we'll get into those. But look, we've got to talk sports. We've talked a lot of World Cup. We'll get into the Elks. We'll get into the CFL. I do want to get into F1. I guess we're pushing this back because we're talking Odyssey there.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we just got to continue on this Odyssey discussion. I will say, like, for like this was an hour 71 movie. I want the director's cut.
Yeah.
This is a movie I'm saying that I want more. There was more that, like, there were certain things that I feel like were almost done even too quick. That I hope there's a director's cut, and it's like extended versions, like Lord of the Rings. I think The Return of the King was like an extra 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I more than want an Odyssey extended edition. I could take this 50 to an hour.
Oh, yeah.
So what, to have a 4-hour film?
I could have this being 4 hours. I think there's enough that wasn't done or fleshed out that you could probably add more to this.
I agree. See, that's the thing. We're talking about movies being too long. I thought Oppenheimer, the story could have moved a little bit quicker, but with Odyssey, like, to let that story breathe, I can get behind an extended version of that.
It was great. Again, it took me back to reading those stories as a kid, right? And I loved how he did everything. And I thought, I mean, there's some pretty heavy hitting actors in that movie.
He once he finds actors he likes, he sticks with them.
Yeah.
Matt Damon has been in multiple movies. Anne Hathaway's been in multiple movies. Elliot Page has been in a couple of movies. Odysseus's right-hand man, if you will, he was in Tenet.
Yeah.
When he finds actors, and Michael Caine was famous for being in like so many of them, of his movies. When he finds people he likes, he sticks with them.
What's unfortunate, Tom Holland is when he's training in the movie as Odysseus' son.
Mm-hmm.
Not giving anything away, but his training partner is. Do you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Okay, so William. Are
you talking about?
I forget the guy's
talking
name.
Mentor?
No.
That's the character's name?
Is it Mentor? Yeah, whatever.
Did you know that's where the word mentor comes from?
No, really?
So in the mythology, Greek mythology, Odysseus' son has a trainer, if you will, who's called Mentor.
Yeah.
And we now
Reinhardt.
call our mentors that because that's where the name comes from. I learned this after the movie.
That's sick, actually. That's pretty.
The guy's name is Mentor, and we called people mentors because that's what he was to Odysseus' son.
The guy who it is, his name is Ryan Hurst.
Yes.
And he's Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
A horrible scene with Opie in Sons of Anarchy. But anyways, I guess what would this be? It would be my cousin through my second cousin through marriage. I don't know. Whatever. My wife's cousin's husband. He's got a film. He has his own film studio. He does a lot of the filming for major movies in Vancouver. Like he did Deadpool and stuff. He does a couple other TV shows, but he's actually shooting God of War.
Oh,
so the video game God of War. And Ryan Hurst is Kratos, but they were doing a scene, and he was supposed to grab something and turn around. He ripped his bicep. And so they've recast Kratos in this new show that he's in, but he's the guy training in the
Mentor.
Odyssey. Yeah, he's Mentor.
And I didn't even know John Leguizamo was in it.
Yeah,
he was great.
He was awesome.
It lived up to the hype. I've been waiting for Odyssey since it was announced. Christopher Nolan announced that he was going to do a movie with Tom Holland and Matt Damon probably 2 years ago based off of this. And I was like, awesome, this is going to be great. And then I think last summer, the first little teaser dropped.
Yeah.
And they sold tickets to the IMAX last summer that all sold out. And it's worth it. It's worth the time. If anyone's questioning whether to go see this or not, I highly recommend it. It's great Greek mythology done on screen for us. And it would be something if he can go do... what's the name of the other part of this movie?
Iliad.
If he can go do Iliad...
The Iliad is kind of Troy, though.
Yeah, but he didn't do Troy.
That's fine. I know.
So let him do it now.
But there's
they didn't let him then
because a lot of people were complaining that Elliot Page was Achilles.
Yeah, but
he's not.
He's not.
He's not. And there's rumors that because he takes a 3-year break, and if he does decide to do the prequel, if he cast Achilles in this one, he'd have to quite likely recast it, possibly. So he didn't want to do that. So that's why Achilles wasn't in this, or you didn't see Achilles in this. Because Achilles is a big part of, obviously, the Iliad.
You would need Matt Damon.
Yeah, you would.
You would need Matt Damon. Well, he played...
Yeah.
They had him in this, so you definitely would have to have Matt Damon and stuff.
But to tell you the truth, I would... I think someone said it in the Nasty Chat already. This is one of those shows that I always watch as a kid if I could. Was it Castor? I don't know. I'll find out who said this, but Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, it was Castor. If you want a great Greek mythology, Jason and the Argonauts, the hunt for the golden fleece, that would be unbelievable if he did that too.
I look forward to seeing what his next project will be. He says it's going to be 3 years till his next release. Takes his time off. Universal already has a date set for some untitled movie 3 years from now, so that everyone's speculating that that's the Christopher Nolan film that he'll get. I don't know where he goes. And he's not necessarily a guy that does trilogies, or like obviously he did the 2 Dark Knights as well as Batman Begins. That's like the only thing he's done. Prestige has nothing to do with Inception, which has nothing to do with Interstellar, which has nothing to do with Dunkirk or Tenet or Oppenheimer or the Odyssey largely. So it'll be fascinating to see what he tries to go with on the next one. I already can't wait for the next one, but this one completely lived up to the hype, and it's probably going to win a lot of awards next Academy Awards in March or whatever next year.
It's going to march through them all, everything. Original score done, best director, best picture for sure.
Return of the King has the record, I think, for most wins, and it's swept all of them.
Costume design, the cinematography. What's that?
I think that's like the look of it. Almost.
Yeah,
I'll say this: the one thing that will challenge for some of its awards potentially, because there's another really good director coming out with a movie this year that has banger after does. I think he might have less than the 13 films Christopher Nolan has.
Is this Denis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve, Dune 3, The Messiah.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that might come up and challenge Christopher Nolan, it might be Denis Villeneuve, because what's his filmography? The Canadian himself, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is his 12th movie, so he's one less. But it includes Arrival and both Dunes and Blade Runner. If there's someone maybe that's... and he's got Hans Zimmer doing the music.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is like we'll have to play Alberta on some of these.
Let's see how that goes. Yeah. Next Bezzosu, let's see how Dune is first. That's going to be the big one. That's going to be the big one. Thank you for indulging us. Do you have any quick comments on Succession? You're in season 3.
I'm in season 3.
How far into 3?
2 episodes in, I think.
Okay, 3. So Kendall's kind of losing his mind.
Yeah.
Has he been on TV yet?
Oh, he's just going in. He showed up at work. Like they were trying to keep him out.
Yes.
And so, but I find it, rich people are terrible.
Yeah.
They're awful people. Awful. I mean, I know it's a TV show. Not everyone's.
But I think it's what else? The music of that show is brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good.
I will say, and I don't know if you felt this yet, with Succession, depending on the episode and depending where you are in a season, at some point you love every character. At some point you hate every character, despise them, and want them to just lose out. And then there are times where they win you back. Yeah.
Yeah, because old Logan Roy is, I've I've disliked him a lot, and I've liked him. I think I'm disliking him again. Yeah, it's pretty funny because Brian Cox, who plays Logan Roy, who was in Troy as Agamemnon, is that the?
Oh, right, he was in that,
and he was talking about. He goes, "Look, I'm a heterosexual male, but Brad Pitt came on set and he was wearing that outfit, and I'm like, my gosh." He goes, "This guy doesn't even have to say anything throughout the whole movie, and it will still work."
He was fantastic as Logan Roy.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They were all just so perfect in every single one of their roles. I think you're going to enjoy this because it goes 4 seasons. It's 39 episodes. When it all wraps up, Gager, I think you're going to have loved that, the entire thing so far. And I'll be intrigued to get your final thoughts on that series. I would love to go into them right now, but I guess to the Mex Bezos earlier having a long discussion on Succession, I need to wait for you to finish the series.
Yeah.
And then we could have that full discussion. Hampton Steve in the River Cree inbox. They showed a 5-minute preview of Dune 3 prior to my IMAX showing of the Odyssey on the weekend. You're right, Maddie. It will challenge the Odyssey for all the technical Oscars. That will be the big thing that we'll be intrigued to see how that one is. And Zendaya in that one, Timothée Chalamet in that one. Rebecca, what's her name?
Robert Pattinson's in it too.
Is he in Dune 3? Yes, he is.
They were talking about he's having one of the most successful years in movies this year with the amount of movies that he's in.
You know who else is having a big run of movies this year? Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
She's got, I think, 5 films or something coming out this year. And also Zendaya. Zendaya has already had a movie come out with Robert Pattinson. They were in a movie together that just recently dropped. She's in this movie, Odyssey. She's got Spider-Man, the new one coming out.
Well,
and she's got Dune 3. Tom Holland's got those 2.
Like he's going to probably be like, what other actor is going to have this much success within a month?
Oh, but yeah.
Like
Anne Hathaway has 5 movies this year. Mother Mary, she had Devil Wears Prada 2, The Odyssey, The End of Oak Tree, and Verity.
Wow.
And she's also got one that's post-production that's to be announced of when that one's going to come out. So there's just some absolutely incredible movies are at a good spot right now. I'll say that one.
I was going to say, are movies back, as Hernan would say?
I think we're in a nice spot for the Marvel type movies, or just the like, we still have those ones. We still have the, hey, this happened. Let's do it again. Let's remake it 20 years later. Let's just do all that. That stuff's still happening. But in terms of some of the original stuff, though, that's going on, like Project Hail Mary is going to go down as amazing. Obsession's going to go down as amazing from this year. We've got The Odyssey, Dune 3. There's just a lot of this might be one of the best years we've had in a long time when it comes to just like original movies, if you will.
I'll say it does look really good because I think was I talking to you about comedies, like going to a movie?
Yeah.
There's a Meet the Fockers 4.
Yes.
Oh, I saw the preview of that too before the Odyssey. It looks really funny.
That looks
really
good.
Funny.
He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Adam Iwanyk. We're alongside Zachary Kubish. When we come back, Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press to talk some Canadian Football League. We'll get Gager's thoughts on F1. The Belgian Grand Prix happened this past weekend. We have one more weekend coming up in the Hungarian, and then they take their summer break, and we got the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay for Play Alberta. That's all to come here in the second hour of EST Afternoons, live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. We'll take a break. We'll get to a Coop Sports update, and then Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press on the other side of the break.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
There's a reason when 1260 shut down, 2 sports stations came out of it. So I believe in this city. I believe there's a strong market for it. I just hope the Elks and the CFL isn't at a point where people keep moving the goalposts and always find a reason not to go. I mean, I've had season tickets since 1997. In my memory is there'd be that one game that was below 30,000.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Kickoff is coming. Are you in? August 1st. Elks, Rough Riders at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The prehistoric party is back and bigger than ever. Presented by Purelator Tackle Hunger. Experience family-friendly dinosaur-themed fun all game long, all in support of local food banks. Every catch, every tackle, every touchdown. The best way to experience it is being there when it happens. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year. Get your tickets now at goelks.com/tickets.
River Cree Resort and Casino and CFCW present All Shook Up, an afternoon tribute with the King, featuring 3 of the world's best Elvis tribute artists. August 16th in the venue. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Looking for a delicious meal without the hassle? Head to Pasta Pantry in Shore Park, your home of the game day meal. From handcrafted fresh pasta with rich homemade sauces to ready-to-heat family meals, Pasta Pantry brings authentic Italian flavor straight to your table. For over 30 years, Pasta Pantry has served hot, delicious comfort food made right in our kitchen. We do it fast so you can slow down. Visit Pasta Pantry in Shore Park today and taste the difference fresh makes. Pasta Pantry, real food, real fast, real good.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. Had a good day? It's time for happy hour. Bad day? Oof, happy hour. Boss said great job? Happy hour. Boss said let's circle back? Ugh, definitely happy hour. Got a promotion? Happy hour. Spilled coffee on your shirt 5 minutes after getting dressed? Ugh, happy hour. So whether you're celebrating or recovering, our happy hour starts at just $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Hockey Canada has unveiled its coaching staff for the upcoming World Juniors here in Edmonton. Misha Donskov will serve as head coach. Ryan Getzlaff, Drew Bannister, Brad Lauer, and Jim Holton as the 4 assistant coaches. Out east, the Canadiens have officially added former Maple Leafs assistant coach Derek Lalonde to their coaching staff. In other news, the RCMP has reported that Rough Riders defensive back Jaden Dalkey was driving on the wrong side of the road before his fatal crash that took the life of another driver. Further testing will be done with police finding cannabis and alcohol in Dalkey's vehicle. To baseball, the Blue Jays-Rays take the field to kickstart a 4-game series. Toronto's Dylan Cease will challenge Nick Martinez on the mound. That one gets going just after 5 and just half a dozen home games left for the Riverhawks tonight. They open a 3-game set against the North Paws. Check out the game on any of EST's audio streams with first pitch at 7:05. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Second hour of EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here. We're minutes away from Dan Ralph for the Canadian Press joining us, and then we'll have four pack of tickets to the Riverhawks to give away, and then the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. Light schedule when it comes to active daily sports now, but there's enough. We'll find things. We will find things. The Edmonton Elks, they beat the BC Lions on Friday, an ugly victory. But hey, it's not about how you get those victories. It's about as long as you get those victories. And the defense definitely came to play. They showed up big time. Did I send you his number? Yeah. Oh, okay, sweet. Thanks, Coop. Defense showed up big time on that game on Friday. It's a shame that they couldn't do more with the 4 interceptions as a team. When you pick a team off 4 times, it shouldn't be a game that comes right down to the wire, but credit to the BC Lions for not rolling over. Credit to their front 7 for stopping Justin Rankin and Javon Leake and causing some problems for the Edmonton Elks offensive attack. But the Edmonton Elks 5-1. Look at this team rolling. The rooms in Calgary for Grey Cup.
I'm trying to think, we were looking at the schedule. I was probably listening to you, Maddie, about it. What would their record be after the first, 5 games? Am I shocked that this is their record? I won't say shocked, little surprised. But I think after the first 3 games, first wins, after seeing them play in not a rain bowl, you had to have some confidence in this team. Now, we've seen a little bit of the offense sputtering at times, a little bit, but like you said, you got to win on both sides of the ball, and the defense of this team is pulling their own weight.
Well, one thing I was saying with Jay on the postgame show, I'd rather have my offense firing right now because what wins you championships is defense.
Mm-hmm.
And know I have the rest of the season of a Mark Killam to get the offense rolling as opposed to reverse. If I had an offense that was rolling, but my defense was having the struggles, I'd be a little more uneasy about that. If I have a defense that I know is just good, that could just be enough to go win you a Grey Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that just entirely in sports. To help us talk Edmonton Elks victory over the BC Lions on Friday and talk some Canadian football, like he's one of the best to do it. He's one of the best to cover this from the Canadian press. Dan Ralph joins us on the Oil Country Towing Hotline. And Dan, thanks for the time. I want to start back with the Edmonton Elks win over the BC Lions on Friday. It was an ugly victory. When you pick off a team 4 times, you would think you'd walk away with a more convincing victory, but it came right down to the wire. The Elks defense, though, definitely came to play. From somebody who's not in the city, what have you seen, and what is your view of the Edmonton Elks as they hit the 3rd point of their season?
Well, I would, and I don't, excuse me, pardon me, and I wouldn't say this just to be blowing smoke, but I'm getting the impression they're for real. And because you keep waiting for them to stub their toe, and I thought they did the first time, but no, and they can do it. They can do it with Rankin running the ball, with Rankin receiving the ball. They can do it with Cody throwing the ball. Or they can do it with a defense that picks you off 4 times and keeps you in the game so that your offense finds a way to win type thing. And I like that. I think I was listening to your comments off air before I came on, and I would tend to agree. I would like my defense playing well, and because it's going to get better. And I would like my offense to be coming along. Other way around. And knowing that, things are going to get better as you get to Labor Day and then you get down the stretch. So, like I said, I'm waiting for them to stub their toe, and they're not. They're finding ways to win, and to me, that's the mark of a good football team.
Dan, what kind of, watching that game and seeing all of a sudden Nathan Rourke goes out, and you're not going up against one of the best players in the CFL, and I found that the Elks got a little bit of a boost from that, but in your mind, do you think that caused them a little bit of fat and sassiness, knowing that they don't have their big gun and we can kind of waltz through the rest of the game?
Maybe initially, but I mean, they picked off 4 passes. It's not like the defense sat back and said, "All right, Brice, come back and come." I got the impression, okay, Nathan's out. Okay, cool. This guy is not going to beat us with his legs. He's going to try and beat us with his arm. And I think they were equal to the task. So, I mean, you don't wish injuries to anybody. And I certainly don't think you wish injury to a guy who is, the defending Canadian and outstanding player of the league and is the face of the league. But I would think if he can't go, then you go, okay, well, you know what? We had prepared all week to try and game plan against him. So now we have to, change plan and go with a guy that we think is not going to be quite as good, because if he was, he'd be playing. So no, I think it's human nature to just let up a little bit, but I wouldn't say that they let up depreciably, because like I said, they did get 4 interceptions.
We're with Dan Ralph, the Canadian press. This BC Lions team, they've been really away from home. I know they had the home games in Kelowna, but they're finally back at BC Place. But they're 1-4. They're without Nathan Rourke now. We'll see how long he's going to be out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be immediately that he's going to be back and available for the BC Lions. Do you think they've built themselves a little bit too deep of a hole to climb themselves out of, or do you think there's still a little bit of hope for the BC Lions this season?
If Nathan's out long term, I think they're in a big hole, especially in the West Division, where you can't afford to fall too far behind of the guys ahead of you. I mean, you talk about a team that's been playing on the road. The one that I cover, one of the 2 I cover, has been doing that all year too, and they're 2-4. But because Chad Kelly is healthy, and because they've shown some semblance of life, well, and let's be honest, they play in the East Division. Yeah. We're not talking about the Argos, their season being in peril as we speak. But I think when you lose the face of your franchise, and you've struggled even with him in the lineup, and Yeah, I think they're in a hole right now. I mean, is it a hole that they can get out of? Yeah. I mean, there's still tons of time, but time is of the essence here. I mean, you don't want to fall too far behind, because then all of a sudden you're playing for third and fourth place. And if you not only in that situation have to make up ground with the teams above you in the West, but you've also got to worry about the third place team in the East as well. And if you give up ground to them, then all of a sudden you're really playing catch up, not in one division, but both.
Dan, we're looking ahead to the next game for the Elks against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I mean, I guess probably 2 weeks ago I had this one circled because this is a huge measuring stick. What do the Elks have to do to? I mean, they already went into Montreal and won. What do they have to do to win in Saskatchewan? I mean, it is have a little bit of a dark cloud on it with the unfortunate passing. But it's kind of a weird game to play, I think, for these Rough Riders.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Excuse me. And at the risk of being cliche-ish, I mean, they're going to have heavy hearts, but I also think they're also going to, rally around the fact that, that this tragedy, they're going to sort of take the adversity of the tragedy and win one for a fallen teammate. But I would think, if I'm looking at Edmonton, what they have to do against Saskatchewan, is, Trevor Harris can throw. He throws the ball well, but you got to get to him. And I think if you get to him and force him to try and throw the ball on the run, he doesn't run exceedingly well. So I think if you can get to him and pressure him, then maybe you can force him into throwing before he's comfortable. But I mean, they've got a pretty good running attack too, and they and it all harkens back to that offensive line. So I see a lot of the Saskatchewan offense and Edmonton's offense, in that you've got a veteran quarterback who can call a great game, who can execute. You've got really good running back. I think where Edmonton has the advantages with Rankin as a receiver, and I'm not sure AJ Ouellette is quite the receiver that Justin is, but I just see two. I see two defenses right now that are pretty stout, and so let's maybe it comes down to the kicking game and comes down to special teams, and I just think if you're going to play Saskatchewan, you're not going to make mistakes. You're going to have to be efficient on second down, and you're going to have to when you're playing defense, is not give up the big play and force them to try and drive against you. And I mean, that's coach speak. That's CFL, but that's football 101, right? And I don't want to dumb it down, but essentially, don't make mistakes and be consistent in your game plan and execute. That's it.
We're with Dan Ruff, the Canadian Press. I want to go to last night's game. Ottawa Red Blacks taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There was kind of flashes to me a little bit of the Red Blacks from like Elks type teams from a couple years ago, with having a lead, but certain things just happen and the other team gets the victory. Do you view that game yesterday more as the Bombers finding a way to get that victory, or the Red Blacks just found a way to lose that game?
I turned it off.
Oh, did you?
Excuse me. I turned it. I thought Ottawa was in command. I really did. And I'll be honest, Drew Brown wasn't showing me a whole heck of a lot. And then before I went to bed, I checked my phone and I went, "You are kidding me!" And I watched the replay. I watched the overtime on my phone this morning, and I don't understand. And it looked to me that Ottawa, in overtime, on the game-tying touchdown and the game-winning two-pointer, was playing a zone defense, and that perplexes me, because you're inside the 5, and it's a lot easier to find the soft point in the zone than it is if you're up close and playing man. But again, these guys forgot more about football than I did, but I ever have. But until Ottawa shows me it can win, I got to believe it's something that they did. And I just think Winnipeg probably just kept, and I know Mike O'Shea well enough to know his message would be just keep pounding, keep trusting the process, keep going out there, just do what we do and trust the process. And I think that's probably what they did. And they had a quarterback probably who played with a chip on his shoulder. Yes. And then when he got hot, look out.
Absolutely. Dan, appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the upcoming Week 8 in the Canadian Football League.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
There's Dan Ralph of the Canadian Press. I'm glad he brought up those points. I was bringing up on the Hangout, I guess it was, with Duck Dad and Benny, because we got to the 2-point conversion shootout. And Winnipeg, to tie it, hits Ontario Wilson a couple yards into the end zone. They start the next possession. They do the exact same play, basically, but to Gavin Cobb. I was like, how did you not adjust to this? Yeah. Like, how did you not? You just got beat on it. How are you not inching close? Like,
they're not going to do that again.
Well, I would rather be beating them going long on me because I pushed up. But no, it was a stunning loss. And they had like 3 or 4 dropped interceptions that were right in the hands. And it's just like, as this was happening, like, this was Elks football in 2024.
It's so weird when you look at that and compare it to Elks past seasons. Matty, what's the biggest surprise for you in the CFL after 6 weeks? Is it the Elks being 5-1? Is it the Lions season? Or maybe it's the Red Blacks haven't won a game yet?
No, Red Blacks not winning doesn't surprise me. Montreal at the top doesn't surprise me. Hamilton where they are, they lost Bo. It kind of makes sense. BC would be the big one because before Nathan Rourke got hurt, it was a 1-3 football team. Yeah. You know, and like they still weren't winning a lot. I think the big one, it is the Calgary Stampeders being only 2-4. I would have expected them to be a little bit better than that. And when you watch this season, they've lost some really close games. This is a team that could be 5-1 this year. They lost a close one to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They lost 2 close. Like they almost made the comeback against Montreal this past weekend. Lost by 7 a couple weekends ago. Week 3 of their season against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they almost beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It was a 3-point ball game. That when you look at the offensive numbers that the Calgary Stampeders have put up, it's been impressive. But then you also look and they're only 2-4, and they are falling behind. Like, what do we have this week? Ottawa, as I know, is on the bye week this week. Calgary gets Winnipeg. If you lose that game to Winnipeg, let's say Saskatchewan beats Edmonton just to keep them there. That's 3 teams that'll be at 10 points, and you're sitting at 4 points. You are 6 points back of third in the West. Now, they could also say we're also 6 points back of first in the West, but you're well behind. You're behind this 8 ball. They're already 1-2 in the division. So if you lose this week, you're now 1-3 in the division. I'm a little surprised by the Calgary Stampeders. I want to say the Elks to a degree, but I did say a 4-1 start to the season.
Okay.
So I'm not fully surprised then that they're 5-1. This is now the toughest stretch the Edmonton Elks are going through. It was BC, it's Saskatchewan, Montreal. To me, the Edmonton Elks need one more win. If they just win one of the next 3, they will finish. They'll get to the halfway point at 6-3. Now, in the second half of the season, if you go 4-5, let's say, you're a 10-win football team.
Do you like the back-to-back against the same team? I do.
I do.
Players don't, though.
You think?
I've asked a few.
Yeah?
When they've had it, they go, yeah, I don't really like it.
I think it depends on who. Like Calgary, Edmonton, Labor Day set. That's always you want that. You has to have that. Like I don't like when they do it with the East teams. I've seen it where it's like Edmonton will take on Ottawa one week, Ottawa the next week. I don't really care to see Ottawa twice in a row. Saskatchewan's a fun one, but I think what helped, like it's also season dependent. Where 5-1, 4-1, somebody's going to get that first strike. And that next one is going to be huge. And somebody could kind of walk away and make a claim for the West in a nice way. If the Elks go win these next 2 games.
That's a huge statement.
They would have a game in hand, but you'd be 3 games up on the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but you'd have won the season series. So no matter what, they're just at minimum, there are 3 games up. That puts you in a nice spot. I wish we'd saw it more in hockey in a way. What I mean by that is I wish we had more series in hockey.
Yeah.
Like what is the new scheduling? You play everyone in your division 4 times. The other conference or the other division in your conference 3 times and everyone else 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it works?
Something like that, yeah.
Let's say it's your division. I wouldn't mind if LA rolled through town and you're playing them 4 games. You played 3 of those games in a weekend or something, or in a week one day. When we did the bubble, all Canadian bubble, and we had this, I liked the series.
I
like the 3-4 game series against the team.
I think it works in sports when there's so many games throughout the regular season. Just have those where you stay in that town, might play them twice.
The NHL should add 2 times a year where they do like the series week.
Yeah.
Like, or even it's the Oilers host the LA Kings for 2 games, then they head to LA for 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's your week.
The fact that they...
I don't know. I like those ones. They're fun.
The fact that they don't have... The Oilers and Flames should have 2 home-and-homes every year. Back to back.
Oh, one Edmonton, 1 game, Calgary the next.
Yeah, and vice versa. It doesn't...
I'd be down with that.
It's crazy that they don't, right? They could do that so easily. They could do that with Utah and Vegas, right? You have Vancouver, Seattle. Like, just eliminate a little bit of the travel, right? Maybe you have a 3-game series with the Islanders, New Jersey, and Rangers. Right? Like, just make it.
Actually, yeah. Well, it'd be not like, I guess, like if you're dealing with the Central, like when Colorado comes to town, or Dallas comes to town, or when you go to their cities, it'd be interesting if you just said, okay, I'd like them to try it for a year and say, okay, Colorado has 2 games in Edmonton this year. We're going to do them all in back to back.
Yeah.
Dallas is going to go to Edmonton's going to be back to back. Edmonton's going to go to those cities. They're going to be back to back. We're just going to play them all.
Yeah.
And then not necessarily Monday, Tuesday, but a Monday, Wednesday. Sure.
Yeah.
But we're just going to play them there. I'd be very intrigued if how that would play out. I really enjoyed when we had that all Canadian division seasons. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Because I'll tell you, when you play against a team multiple times close, you hate those guys. You absolutely hate them.
The builds that rivalry. It's also, if I lost, and I've never been that competitor like you haven't, but if I lost to a team, I feel like I'd want revenge right away.
Yeah.
I want to beat them now.
Yeah.
Like, you just beat me. I want a shot at you again.
Especially if they spank you, right? You come out of there 8-1. You can't wait to play that team again.
Well, I remember when the Oilers, they had a 3-game set at home to the Leafs, and the Leafs ran their show for 3 straight games.
Well, they played 3 different goaltenders. Campbell, Freddie, I think was part of that. I don't know who the third one got. And I think they all got shutouts, didn't they?
Or it's like 1 goal allowed or something.
I think it was Campbell that let out the goal.
What would that would have been 2021.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was because that was a big deal. That was huge that the Edmonton Oilers went through that series. Where is that one? Okay, 21-20. No, it's 2021 I want. Here we go. I think that was March.
I think they only scored 1 goal in the 3 games.
Right? Yeah, here it is. 4-0, 3-0, 6-1. Like, just ran their show through 3 games. Yeah, the people were like, and it was funny because, well, no, they had a bad January start, 5-6, but February was such a good month. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, they had 2 losses and 9 wins. They were 9-2 in the month of February, and then it ended with Toronto. They lost 4-0, and then it started March with these just 2 blown out games. It was awful for the Edmonton Oilers. We're late to break. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We come back. Let's get into some Formula One. We also have some Riverhawks passes to give away in the skirt. Let's do a parlay still to come in the show. This is EST Afternoons right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Here's Coop with the sports update.
Hockey Canada has unveiled its coaching staff for the 2027 World Juniors here in Edmonton. Misha Donskov serving as head coach, Ryan Getzlav, Drew Bannister, Brad Lauer, and Jim Holton as the 4 assistants. Out east, the Canadians have officially added former Maple Leafs assistant coach Derek Lalonde to their coaching staff. And in other news, the RCMP has reported that Rough Riders defensive back Jaden Dahlke was driving on the wrong side of the road before his fatal crash that took the life of another driver. Further testing will be done with police finding cannabis and alcohol in Dahlke's vehicle. To baseball, the Blue Jays Rays hit the field for a 4-game series, first of 4 total games. Toronto's Dylan Cease challenging Nick Martinez on the mound. That one gets going just after 5 o'clock and just half a dozen home games left for the Riverhawks. Tonight, they open a 3-game set against the Northpaws. Check out the game on any of EST's audio streams. First pitch at 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc, they're the experts you need to know more with Matt Iwanyk and Joaquin Gage. On the other side of the break, I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
River Cree Resort and Casino and CFCW present All Shook Up, an afternoon tribute with the King, featuring 3 of the world's best Elvis tribute artists. August 16th in the venue. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
We are back on EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here. 2:40. We'll get to the screw it. Let's do a parlay. I guess also. Oh, we also got the Hernandez Noticias for the Edmonton Elks. We'll get to that. See if I could remember to do. I always forget to do this day in sports history. Maybe one of these days I'll remember that. Coming up from 3 until 6, we got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. They're live at Remax Field in the William Huff. We have the William Huff studio. They're in the William Huff suite.
Yeah.
For the Riverhawks game tonight. So they will be broadcasting live from there. With that, I actually have, this is the final 6 games of the Edmonton Riverhawks, and we still have a few vouchers to give away for the Riverhawks. So I've got 16 total. So we could do 4 winners, 4 vouchers. Okay. That's what we could do. Now, if you're somebody that only needs 2, let me know. And if you're someone that wants extra, let me know. As if you're one of our winners. But you have to use these this week. So I'm just going to throw that out there. You got to be, if you're heading, know you're going to the Riverhawks this week, stay tuned. Because I'll do a quick trivia question, 780-218-9999. And I will pick 4 people. And so if you're planning on the Riverhawks, get ready to jump in. I'm going to stick this with World Cup. Who won the Golden Ball yesterday? Who was awarded the Golden Ball yesterday? I didn't say Golden Boot. I didn't say Golden Ball. 780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw. It might not be that easy, but you could easily Google that. I'm not going to lie. You could do that one. We've talked some Edmonton Elks who are 5-1. They're back in action Thursday. Commonwealth Stadium, green and gold kickoff show. Myself, Jay Milne, will get you set for that game at 6 o'clock. We've talked World Cup and put a bow on that. But also this weekend, we had the Formula One Grand Prix. Spa, Kimi Antonelli, he wins yet again. What'd you make of the race?
I love Spa because I believe it's the the first corner, the Eau Rouge, I believe it's referred to, going up that hill, it's 23 meters change in elevation that they go up that hill.
I remember seeing some sort of video or like somebody standing there, and like TV doesn't do it at anywhere close to justice.
And I mean, everyone's gone in a car, and you know how you go over a hill and so all of a sudden your stomach is, imagine being in an F1 car and going up a hill with 23 meters of change. Like that's just amazing to me. I like this race because, it's in the woods. Weather can be a factor. It's gorgeous layout. One of the longest tracks that they're on, only 44 laps for the entire race. But I guess some people didn't like the race. I thought it was really interesting, Maddie.
Why did some people not like it before you get into why you thought it was interesting?
Maybe it wasn't as entertaining. I found it quite entertaining just because of the different cars that were at the top, right? You saw different manufacturers at all different levels. You had Mercedes, you had Ferrari, you had Red Bull, you had McLaren.
Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, McLaren, Audi in the top 8.
And I think that's what you want, right? Kimi is on a different level. Like we're witnessing the next great F1 driver.
So the Italians sacrificed their soccer team for an F1 driver.
Maybe they did, but he's incredible. I'm not feeling bad for George Russell yet because I've explained to it. I thought these F1 drivers are confident, but I think he was way too confident at the beginning of the year, kind of almost anointing himself as world champion in testing already. And we have, you and I are kind of partial to Lewis Hamilton winning his 8th championship. And I believe he only finds himself, 51 points behind Kimi Antonelli now. And he's taken over second place in the driver's standings. So
204 to 159.
So yeah, it's
45 points.
45 points. I think there's something there. This is like when we talked about this before. This is where teams, do we keep with this car? Do we have a chance? And you had Leclerc now finishing on having 2 podiums back to back. So Ferrari's right there. Lewis is leapfrog George for second place. Now you got to start putting pressure on the young guy. But what we saw last year with Oscar Piastri, around this time, it did seem like Oscar was going to roll and win this championship. And I think he was way ahead of the second place person at this point. So once we get to summer break, get through the silly season, drivers deciding where they're going to go, I think the final part of this season is going to be really interesting, especially for the drivers' championship.
With your understanding of the 2 cars, Mercedes and Ferrari, and the understanding of the tracks, are there enough tracks that favor Ferrari over the Mercedes, do you think?
I don't
Or is
think
this going to need to be, the upgrades are going to have to be there, / the reliability of Ferrari this year with a little bit of the unreliability maybe of Mercedes with a couple of instances the last number of races?
I need Tim to explain to me again, because they get these tokens where they're able to improve the overall performance of the power unit. And I read something, again, I have to confirm this because there's a lot of fluff out there with F1, but what I read was the Red Bull power unit is considered the best power unit right now. And so that will give other teams the ability to improve their power units, where it does seem like Mercedes and Ferrari are already ahead of them. So, and I think Ferrari already has one of those tokens to improve their power unit. Because on the straights, they do lose out to Mercedes on the straightaway on power. But I think they're going to tweak the battery deployment as well, because obviously this whole battery thing hasn't been great with how they hit the boost and then they pass and then they get overtaken again, right? So you want cars to just be able to go full out the whole time, and the best driver wins. I'm all for that. I just want to see it come down again to that that first year of that battle between Max and Lewis, where the last race, winner take all type of thing. And if there's more cars involved with that, all the better.
Well, how late was it last year? Wasn't it pretty late?
It came down to the last race.
It was
last
last
year.
race.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it took a lot for Lando to possibly lose it.
Well, Max was just tearing it apart.
Yeah. If for me, it was something like F1. If you could get to the third last or second last race, and that's when you get it declared, I'm good with that. You have the whole season. And it's not like Max from a couple of years ago where you knew nothing was stopping Max.
And there's some great battles in the midfield. Like that Lindblad is a phenomenal talent. What Isaac Hadjar was able to do this weekend was phenomenal too. So there was a lot of other things to watch, especially with that F1 TV. I can go watch the helmet cams of other racers during it. There was one point where it was Lindblad, Hadjar, and was it Bortoletto all battling, and Hadjar was streaking by on the inside, somewhat like Hamilton did when Crofty had that famous "Through Goes Hamilton." Like there's some great racing away from the front sometimes. So
but that's where you get the diehards, right? Like that's. And that's not the casuals want a close race. It's the same as when you get into soccer and stuff. Casuals want some more scoring. They're not going to enjoy it 1-0 or a 0-0 like Eric and I might enjoy.
But I watch it, and I like even Kimi when he passed Charles to take over the lead again. I'm watching to see in certain sectors what he's able to do, what Charles can't, and getting it outside that 1 second so he can't get into that overtake mode, and the maintenance of the tires. It's fascinating what these guys can do with a race car.
Speaking of silly season for F1, there were reports and rumors going around today that a business consortium reportedly made a $3 billion offer to buy Racing Bulls from Red Bull. It was rejected.
By who?
Red Bull rejected it.
Really?
Red Bull rejected this. But I've seen some reports online that for the Racing Bulls team, they've been given their offer, and it was $3 billion for that one. So that's the Visa Cash App team, I guess, if you will, or whatever. So that that $3 billion said no, we're good. What do you think Ferrari's worth? What do you think
oh my gosh.
What do you think the main Red Bull team would be worth and something like that? So that I saw was floating around a little bit online today.
I don't like that Red Bull has a second team.
It's you have a farm team inside F1.
Yeah.
And at the very least, like Mercedes has Williams, people would believe, but there's a separation between the two. There is a true separation. Yeah. You know that second Red Bull team, the Racing Bulls, will never compete for the Drivers' Championship or Constructors, because that means it will hurt Red Bull. Whatever good comes there will go to Red Bull. That shouldn't be allowed.
They say they don't, but they take the data. Don't give me that.
They say they don't. Thief also said they didn't bow into pressure from anyone to take the red card away from Balogun. Like, come on.
I've watched certain races where the Red Bull team, and this was more when Checo was part of it and the Racing Bulls were behind, but they were out of the points. You saw those teams change tires at certain races at not the optimal times to change and go, so that the big Red Bull team would get the data of how those tires looked at the race at that particular time, right? You watch, if there's rain and it could be between wets and inters, a lot of times those Racing Bulls will have both sets on if they're in the back of the pack, and then Red Bull will adjust accordingly.
Rodri was the Golden Ball winner from this tournament, which goes to the best player overall through the tournament. A lot of people have entered that in. After the show, I'll get in touch with 4 of you. We'll do a draw, and you will win the 4 tickets to the Riverhawks. When we come back on the other side of a break, screw it, let's do a parlay. We hit last week. Woo! We hit on Friday. We're going to try to go for 2 for 2 as a group of 3 here before Hernan slides back into
and
his
loses all our money.
Rightful spot in the host chair tomorrow. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Iwanyk. Let's get to a Zachary Kuber sports update. And on the other side, Hernan's Noticias, as well as we'll continue the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Happy hour 525 drinks available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. This is Edmonton Sports Talk. Clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
Hockey Canada has unveiled its coaching staff for the 2027 World Juniors. Misha Donskov serving as head coach, with Ryan Getzlav joining the team as one of 4 assistant coaches making his international coaching debut. Staying in hockey, Derek Lalonde has joined the Canadiens as an associate coach after spending last year with the Maple Leafs. And meanwhile, the RCMP has reported that Rough Riders defensive back Jane Dalkey was driving on the wrong side of the road before a fatal crash that took the life of another driver. Authorities say that before the accident, Dalkey left a gas station with unpaid fuel, with police finding alcohol and cannabis in his vehicle. In other news, the Blue Jays and Rays begin a 4-game series. Dylan Cease starts for Toronto. Nick Martinez on the mound for Tampa Bay. And for the Riverhawks, just 6 home games left in the regular season. Tonight they play the first of 3 against the North Paws. Catch the game on any of EST's audio streams with first pitch at 7:05. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back following the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm Zachary Kubich, keeping you up to date.
Firehouse Subs. Our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Grandpa, what's this?
That's my opening day ticket to the first ever Blue Jays game.
Wow, you kept it all this time?
Of course, some things you treasure forever.
Keep your treasure safe with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
It's the weekend. The sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going. Rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on. Always. All day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Final segment, EST Afternoons for this Monday. Coming up next will be from 3 to 6, Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, live from Remax Field. They're in the William Huff suite for tonight. Right now, 18 degrees in Edmonton. It's supposed to get to a high of 24, but smoky. Smoky overnight. Tomorrow, 25 degrees. 30% chance of showers. Hopefully we do get those showers tomorrow because it'll help get rid of this smoke. Like, this is actually the one time you want the showers, is to get rid of the smoke. And the rest of the week, as long as the smoke goes away, this will stick. If the smoke sticks around, we're screwed with, like, this forecast won't hit. 30 degrees on Wednesday and sunny, 32 degrees on Thursday and sunny, 32 degrees and sunny on Friday, 27 degrees and sunny on Saturday. Nasty Bash takes place, or a Saturday. It's Nasty Bash take place Saturday. St. Albert Rugby Club, 6 o'clock. Come join us for the third major of the year. An absolutely amazing patio. And if it's going to be 27 degrees, it's going to be worth sitting out on that patio. Before we get to Hernan's Noticias for the Edmonton Elks and the Screw It, Let's Do It for Play Alberta, on July 20th, 1969, so today's July 20th, anniversary from 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the moon.
Wow.
Today is the anniversary of that. It did happen. I do stand by that. We walked on the moon. Let's get to Hernan's Noticias for the Edmonton Elks, which is, as he said, brought to you by the Elks. It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff. Get your single game tickets today and be there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. Locking your seats now at goelks.com/tickets. In it, Coop. Oh, he doesn't have it. There it is. I almost caught him there. Spain returns to number 1 in the FIFA World Rankings. Canada remains 30th in the men's world rankings. The Montreal Canadiens have hired Derek Lalonde as an associate coach, while the San Diego Gulls have named Dave Manson, former Edmonton Oilers assistant, as their new head coach. Kelly Buchberger has been named as one of their assistants. So Kelly Buchberger, who was just spending some time coaching around
JPHL.
JPHL, he was this past season. The year before, they was Drayton Valley.
Yeah.
He's now going to San Diego.
No way, with Dave Manson.
Yeah.
They're good buddies. So.
Steve McCarthy as well, named assistant coach on that team. And Jeff Glass is a goaltending coach. I haven't heard that name in a little bit. Yeah, Dave Manson and Kelly Buchberger, they're going to be together down in San Diego. So those are some of the news and notes. Toronto Blue Jays in action today against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Brooke Henderson is engaged to Minnesota Twins prospect. Didn't know that she was dating a Minnesota Twins prospect, but Ricky Castro and Brooke Henderson announced their engagement. So congratulations to them. Brooke Henderson will be in town next month as the CPKC Women's Open will be at Royal Mayfair. She's looking to defend her title, if I'm not mistaken. I believe she won it last year, the Canadian title. Which means now we need to get the skirt. Let's do a parlay. For Play Alberta, when you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. Always use your game sense. Coop and it.
Let's do it, no delay. Let's take a risk today. No sense being safe. We need a huge payday.
As I mentioned, Friday, our skirt, let's do a parlay. Spain to lift the trophy. Kimi Antonelli to win the Belgian Grand Prix. What were those two names of the UFC guys?
Dricus Duplessis and Kamaru Usman.
To go the distance.
And it did, luckily.
It was plus 542. We don't, just like the Elks winning ugly, Coop, we don't ask how, we just did it happen. And it did. So we're going to look to bounce back or to continue on that trend. And Coop, I'm going to start with you. Where are you going?
I was doing some research here, and there's 4 games in the WNBA. The Tempo are in action.
Toronto Tempo.
Yes, the Toronto Tempo. But I'm not going to go with the Tempo. I was thinking about it originally.
There's coaches suspended, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you don't want to... I don't know if you want to ride on a team with a suspended coach, but I'm going to put all my marbles tonight on this contest here between the Liberty and the Wings. The Dallas Wings are plus 165 on the money line and have a 17-8 record against the Liberty, who are 13-12. They've faced twice. Dallas has won both games, so they're going to make it 3 in a row.
You're taking the Dallas?
I'm taking Dallas. I'm taking the Wings.
Paige Beckers is not playing.
That's okay.
Okay, Paige
Dallas
Beckers is out. I believe she's out. Doesn't have a concussion, they say, but will sit. So, you're taking the Dallas Wings. I'm a little worried about that, not going to lie.
Okay.
But hey,
well,
screw it.
The
Let's
Liberty,
do it.
they've only won 3 games in their last
Perfect.
12.
Love it.
So,
also, Aces are who the Tempo are playing, who are just a good team. So, good thing you stayed away from that one. What do you've got, Gager?
I got the Tampa Bay Rays money line.
Oh, you're going up against the Toronto Blue Jays.
You just hate the Blue Jays, don't you?
The Rays money line. They're plus 1. Why are they such heavy? What am I missing here?
I don't get it.
The Rays are the best team. Oh, they've lost 5 straight.
They're due, as my...
That's what Hernan would say.
That's
they're
what Hernan
due.
would say.
They're both 4-6 in their last 10. The Jays have lost their last game. Rays are on a 5-game losing skid. So that's what we've got. So we've got Dallas Wings money line. We've got Tampa Bay Rays money line. And for me, I am going to football. We're sticking with soccer. Champions League qualification. It's underway. This happens tomorrow. So if both years hit, this is noon tomorrow. So by the time 2 o'clock rolls around, you guys will know if Let's Do It hits because of me or not. FC Thun is taking on Dinamo Zagreb. So it's a Swiss side taking on Croatian side. The Croatian side, Dinamo Zagreb, they generally are there at Champions League. They're minus 101 on the 3-way. I'm going with Dinamo Zagreb.
Wow. Okay.
If this hits, I haven't even sent this in before boost. Dallas money line, Rays money line, and Zagreb on the 3-way. It's plus 1155. So we've got a bit. This one is, we got a huge payday. That would be what would be coming on this one. So I will send that over to the crew at Play Alberta shortly here. And we'll see how this one plays out. Looking to start this group. Let's do it week with a victory. And then Hernan Salas will take over tomorrow. And we'll see how this goes.
All right.
How was it working with Nancy on the wall stream today? Did you miss him?
It was weird because I don't think we've ever done Oil Stream together. I know we do the show together, but I'm used to like having the breaks and stuff. So he seemed Monday-ish today.
He was whining a lot about having to work a lot. He worked an 8-hour day. That's what he was here for. Was a full 8-hour day. So
yeah, but there was a big break in there.
Yeah, there was he had to set up the lock shop.
I like you're making excuses.
I'm giving him those.
He was having a nap when I came in here. He had a long weekend, it looked like.
I asked him if he ran here.
He and him and JMO were on. Tomorrow, Lieutenant Eric returns to the host chair with JMO.
Nice.
Dusty's back on Thursday just for the morning show, and then he's gone again. So he's popping in for a singular show. And then
really?
He's out. Yeah. And then actually, if we have a couple of weeks coming up, I think the next 2 weeks.
I can't believe you didn't give him the morning off, man.
I follow his schedule that he sends me. He says I could do the mornings. I can't do the other shows. What do we have? Next week, only Dusty's off on Friday.
Really?
We have 4 days next week at this moment. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where we're fully staffed.
Holy smoke.
We got to find out how Trev's trip to the Blue Jays went. We're out in Toronto tomorrow. We haven't seen him today.
Did he make it back?
I think so.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know why he wouldn't have.
I don't know. Maybe
I haven't heard from him, so maybe we should be a little worried.
Doing full Kevin McAllister. Maybe he's home alone somewhere.
There's lots to catch up with tomorrow.
I know.
We get Trev. We get Eric.
Eric's had some epic photos.
Did he?
Yeah, on the old Instagram.
He texted me yesterday making sure he wasn't in on the morning show today. He's like, I did book tomorrow off, right? I was like, yeah, don't worry.
Oh, isn't that a horrible feeling?
Oh, that would suck.
That's horrible. Like my old job, I booked time off. And I'm going on vacation and I get a call from work going, where are you? And
you got one of those?
Yeah. And I go, I'm booked off. And I go through, you go through emails and send them all. Oh, they just didn't do it or whatever. Or there was a mix up and your heart, your stomach, you feel sick. It's just awful. Right.
I would have felt bad if he hadn't booked it off. And then been like, well, no, you didn't have it booked off.
Yeah.
And that would be a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
I'm just sending our parlay in. But yeah, he says it felt like he was gone for years. He had a great time. Felt like he was gone for years.
That's a good vacation.
Yeah.
You know why? Did I talk to you about this? How life seems to speed up for you. As a kid, your first summer vacation seems so long and it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, things in life. It's because you do the same things over and over. And the way our brains work, if you repeat the same things tend to seem like the time seems to speed up. When we do different things, our mind, how we store memories is different. So it makes us think, well, that's longer. So obviously Eric was doing a ton of different things. That's why it seemed like he was gone for a long time.
I like that because it's this... I'm starting to feel it, but as you know, one thing you always hear from people that are older is time just seems to go faster.
Well, look on vacation.
I do feeling it. It just keeps we're already almost through July this year. It's just absolutely crazy.
Vacations usually the first 3 days seem long, and then you start doing the same thing over and over, and they seem to speed up after a while. That's why. So make sure you get out, do different things.
I will have to remember that. Oh, it looks like they moved their location from inside the suite to outside the suite.
That is great.
Reed and Jay live from Remax Field. They will be coming up from 3 until 6 along with Zachary Kubish.
Randy Gregg, by the way.
Dr. Randy Gregg to you, Koob.
Well, he is
To all of
also
us, Dr.
managing
Randy.
director of the Riverhawks.
Yeah, Dr.
He's a lot of
Randy.
things.
Yo, if
Former
somebody has
Oiler.
the doctor title before them.
Well,
you
come on,
absolutely get the
5-time Stanley Cup champion and a doctor.
He used to stitch guys up in between periods.
Thank you to Lucas Weiss from The Athletic for joining us. Thank you to Dan Rao from the Canadian Press for joining us, but also thank you to the listeners, all of you for tuning in, whether it be on our audio streams or on YouTube. We greatly appreciate you spending part of your Monday with us here today. And for everyone that texted into the Nasty Chat or into the River Cree inbox, thank you very much. Hernan's back with you boys tomorrow. The
Thanks,
Easter
Matty.
Let's Do has been sent in. This was fun the last 2 days, but I'll see you guys around the office and
Okay,
look
good.
forward to it. On behalf of Coob, Gager, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. I will get in touch with the winners for the Riverhawks coming up, so keep it locked on your phone if you entered for the draw. Maybe you'll be one of the lucky 4 that were winning some tickets. Reed, Jay, coming up next in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.